I'd check first under the stalls for her shoes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the magical Lily Tomlin. Just like the place I used to work.
Did it?
I won't say, but I worked for a large aerospace company, and that's exactly the way it was laid out. It brought back strange feelings. How did it come about, 9 to 5?
Well, it was Jane Fonda's project. She's the producer, her company is, and she'd had the idea for a couple of years, and she just worked on it, and she'd always had me and Dolly in mind.
From the very beginning, she
Yes.
had. Well, Dolly is unusual to me because she's not known as an actress.
No, right.
So it seems strange to me that she would think of Dolly for the part.
Well, I think she had so much admiration for Dolly,
Oh.
and Dolly has so much humanity, and you just know that she's going to be a natural, you know, on screen, and she is. She's just really great, cute, delightful. And what was perfect about it was because she's the boss's secretary.
Ah,
So
absolutely.
she's sort of the quintessential boss's secretary. And she's the object of a lot of sexual harassment in the picture, you know.
Have you ever done a job like that? Have you ever had like a 9 to 5 type of thing?
Yeah, a lot of it. When I went to New York to be an actress, I used to alternate. In New York, is one of the few cities where you can work temporary jobs, you know, either temporary office or temporary waitress. So I would work temporary waitress for 2 or 3 weeks, and I'd have a mental breakdown, and then I'd go back and I'd work temporary office, you know, and they give you. I mean, it's the most drudge, you know, unrelenting, unrewarding, because the women get no acknowledgement in general in those environments, and of course, just being a temporary, I would be given all like typing massive amounts of envelopes and things, and I would just get there, you know, and I would just start typing because I didn't know what else to do, and I would just get on such a track, and I would type and type, and I'd type, and the envelopes would just rise up around me. And I would sit in, I would like come to, you know, and you have dry mouth and you're exhausted. And I'd look at the clock, and it was time to go to lunch, you know, so I'd excuse myself and generally not come back. It was just,
You're describing my first job, you know. That's why I'm sitting here laughing at. So you did have a lot of empathy for what these women have gone through because of your own experiences. You did some stunt driving in this movie, too, I understand.
Well, I wanted to do all of it, you know, because we really did have stunt drivers, but I'm a real good driver anyway, and when you get a chance to drive in a movie, because the streets are all cleared, you know, so you can just like you can just take off, and you know nothing. You're not going to have, like, you know, come up on somebody all of a sudden. So when they let me have a car and they cleared the streets for me, I was ready. Because even in the Late Show, I drove that van, and I did all the driving except the one they did a big jump, you know, over a big hump. I mean, and I wanted to try that, but they jumped about 20 feet in the air, so I didn't do that. But so in 9 to 5, we have a lot of driving scenes where Dolly and Jane and I are in the front seat together.
You're driving, and they're in the front seat with you.
Oh, and one great pickup I had with them, we have this, we get involved in this fiasco, kind of. I think I've killed the boss, and I've kidnapped the wrong body from the hospital. And I have it in the trunk of the car, and I'm just petrified. You know, I've got 4 kids, and I think I'm going to go to jail. But I've got this car on a roll, and I picked both of them up running. They had no idea. I kicked the door open, and here comes, and Jane grabs the car. Jane's on a run. Jane gets in the car. Dolly's on a run. Dolly gets in the car, and I threw a hubcap. It was just one of those magical things. I rounded the corner, and I peeled out, and every time I do it, they'd rise up and hit the front of the car. And so Dolly would always say, "Lord, I'm glad I'm wearing this wig." So they were just great. I mean, we really did have a good time.
You've created so many characters throughout your career, and I'm just curious as if you can explain how they come to you. How do you do it?
Well, sometimes it's, you just want to do a certain kind of person. You know, I would get a desire to do a certain kind of person, or it's hard. There's never any formula, right? You know, sometimes it's a line that stays with me for years. I'll just have a little fragment of a line or an essence of something, you know, and then suddenly one day I realize who it belongs to, or how to do it, or sometimes it's very calculated and planned, and a piece is written and then a character comes out of it, or it's very, if I knew, I'd be real happy.
But they come from all different ways.
Right, you know.
You were going to share some of your characters with us. We love them so much. And there's so many that we're familiar with, but I think everybody loves Edith Ann.
Right. I'd love to do
a
Edith,
little
too.
Edith Ann?
I was gonna do a little piece with this is a double thing. It's Edith talking to a character I used to do on Laughing called the Supermarket Checker. Her name was Dot. Yeah, you remember Dot? So okay, let me see. I'll try it. I hope I can do it without standing up. Some of my body just like takes off. Okay, so Edith starts.
This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef.
And this little piggy was back there in the dairy section making a sour cream dip for her Fritos, wasn't you, Edith Ann?
No, Dot, I wasn't.
Then you was the one back there eating a peanut butter sandwich.
No, I was the one back there eating cookies and reading this comic book.
Well, let's see what you've got. Lord, popsicles, peanuts, cupcakes, donuts. Who told you to get all this stuff?
The man on TV.
Oh, now, Edith Ann, looky here. I can take all this other stuff back, but you have eaten the entire contents of this box of animal crackers. Don't you think you ought to pay for it?
No, Dot, I didn't eat a one, honest.
Now, you look me straight in the eye. Did you or did you not open up this box?
Yes. But when I looked inside, there wasn't nothing there.
Oh.
They had eaten up each other.
Don't go away. We'll be back.